You like the Spartans, eh, Ricard?
Yep.
So we're doing one at a time?
Yeah, if you want to do something right now, just make sure you're available on Steam. I'm going to spectate and stream it, but if you've got other stuff you want to do, just be available on Steam so that when I say, hey, you're up, you'll be able to
There's
respond quickly.
5 more
Alright.
spectator slots as well.
Lamb, you want to practice?
Could I?
Do a few practice rounds? Anybody?
I will.
You will? Alright.
Yeah.
I don't think I have you on Steam. What's your Steam name?
Wimsky, WIMMISKY, Sims this year.
All right, since they're going to be practicing, that means you guys, as soon as you're ready, can go ahead, hop down to the other channel when you're done, and launch.
Did you get it, Wim?
What?
Invite?
One second here. Yes, it has.
I just realized my mic was muted. Helix, are the settings right for the map?
Throw fog in there.
Fog. Fuck it, I'll go with the classic.
In the random.
We have
Slack.
incompatible versions.
Oh, make sure both of you guys have all mods unchecked in the Rome 2 launcher. Unchecked, not checked off, sorry.
Do we have to have the DLC or not?
It's not necessary, no.
I don't think I have any DLC.
It wouldn't cause a version mismatch anyway.
How do I uncheck the mod?
There should be little green check marks in the top right of the mods. Just make sure that they're blank white.
Yeah, I don't see a check mark.
And if you have a lot of mods, it might go off to the right. You could also select all mods, and it'll like check them all, and then uncheck that, and it'll uncheck them all.
Gotta uncheck them all.
Check him on.
Guess I'll just delete it.
Think I'm pretty much ready to go.
Helix, hit me up with that link.
For the stream?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, I guess me and Ricard should go down to the combat mission channel.
Yeah, go ahead.
User left your channel. User left your channel.
There you go. so Mosaic's rolling with Bacteria today. He's got a good bit of Sloan Heavy Cav. Actually, all of his Cav is the Sloan Heavy Cav. And then on his front line, he's fielding... He's got some very heavy spear infantry and plenty of very heavy thorax swordsmen. And for ranged Persian light archers, but only 2 of them. And the general he's rolling with is one of these cav units. Okay. Bactrian Royal Guard. On the other side, Rekar is interesting. Okay. So he's got some faster medium melee cav, medium missile cav. Medium missile cav. He has a good bit more ranged here. Archers and slingers. And then the typical Spartan build. Hoplites and then a front line of pikemen. So no major surprises from that. And his general, Heroes of Sparta, yeah, along with a backup unit of Heroes of Sparta. I think Mosaic's going to have the more mobile deck here, but we'll see if he can really get around Rekar's pike wall, because that's going to be very, very difficult to get around. One of them's already ready.
Take that man's name. His armor is a disgrace. You! What's your bloody name and number? We'll kill them.
I wonder if Rekar is going to be able to hide these guys over here. Are they hidden currently? Looks like Mosaic's running a scouting mission. If Rekar can keep these cav hidden, that could be a big bonus for him. That could allow him to pull some interesting maneuvers. We'll see in a moment, though, if Mosaic picks up on it.
Now!
Oh, I spent too much of my army.
Right there! Forward!
Whoops.
Riders, on me! Follow me! Advance at speed!
Mosaic taking his sweet, sweet time getting up to the front. And Rekar staying completely defensive.
Eyes front! Worry about them!
Very popular for Spartan and Macedonian builds. If he sees them, Mosaic can cut off these hidden Spartan cav really easily and mop them up quickly, just because of the difference in armor ratings for those 2 cav types. But I really think he hasn't seen him. Mosaic has stopped his entire formation. He's probably pondering something right now, but what? What's his move going to be?
Alright, J-Dubs, let's go.
Oh, there's a timer.
At speed!
I kept clicking start battle over and over again.
Alright, so Mosaic.
Success.
This is the first multiplayer battle I've done.
Yeah, join the club. My warm-up practice for this was playing against easy mode AI.
Rekar shifting his entire Spartan line. What is he going to do with this? If Mosaic was able to move his cav in here, he might be able to disrupt these guys. It looks like they're about to take positions, though, yeah.
Huh?
Oh, and Rekar's jumping the ambush. He's gonna go ahead and reveal his cav on the far flank. Will these Tarantine cav be able to put a dent in Mosaic's units? And does Mosaic see this happening? And is it worth blowing the surprise of these units so early before the battle just to get some rear shots on these Bactrian noble horse? Right about now, Mosaic's got to be aware of it. No casualties were dealt in that volley.
Advance at speed!
Oh, one kill right there. Oh, no, not even a kill. Oh, okay, yeah. He's really dead. Oh, God.
Quick march!
So Mosaic still seems unaware of this. Now he's starting to take the casualties.
Quickly now!
Okay, looks like he's noticed it.
For glory!
Now, Rekar's ranged ones can outrun those heavy horses. However, if these citizen cav here get locked in combat with those Bactrian heavy cav, that's going to be the end of them. Is he going to go toe-to-toe, or is he just going to start to run them around and try to scare them?
More swordsmen! Riders at the double! Quickly now!
Mosaic not taking the bait.
Quickly now!
Although Mosaic is pulling the rest of his cav over to make them one single mounted fighting force.
Orders understood! At the double!
Rekar really flinging these guys out wide. What is he going to do with them? Mosaic's going to go after him, it looks like. And here these Persian archers are going to get a chance to fire at these Tarantine cav. Those Tarantine cav won't last too long if they stand still. Now, if Mosaic's not careful about overcommitting to this, he could exhaust his heavy cav. They are already... Some of them are already active. They'll be winded in no time. And, well, these citizen cav have been active, are already active. They've been running for a lot longer. And they can keep running for a lot longer than these heavy cav without being caught, so... Looks like Rekar was able to pull his guys out before any casualties were sustained from those Persian archers.
Advance at speed! Ride out! Riders on me!
Doesn't look like Mosaic's gonna let Rekar's cav get out of here, though. He's gonna try to pincer them somehow. And Rekar is gonna split his cav so that he doesn't get pincered. If he loses anything, he might just lose one. We'll see. Is he going after the Persian archers back here? Is Mosaic gonna catch that? He has to see it coming. Mosaic's cav have basically stopped.
Engage!
He's staying on target to fire those Tarantine cav. He's going to pull the Bactrian Royal Guard back to screen for those archers. Rekar's not going to let that happen.
At speed! At the double! To arms!
Lots of cav micro right now.
At the double! March! Come engage!
Tarantine cav being put to good use there. Some hit and run.
Quickly now!
Did you pause?
Great advance!
Looks like the game just froze, man.
Yeah, mine froze too.
One of you try hitting P?
Advance!
Nope, not on my end.
It says Wimiski has been dropped from the game.
Advance at speed!
Rekar is probably
Yeah,
going to
just
lose
crashed
these cav over here. Yep, they're already about to rout. They got chopped up by those heavy cav. Mosaic's definitely going to go and hammer the anvil now.
Well, I guess J-Tabs wins the first round.
No.
We mean the first round, next round.
Well, I mean, I will scrimmage.
Oh, right into the Eastern Spearman. For medium cav, that's bad. Rekar not supporting his infantry here as his cavalry are left to deal with this completely alone. His infantry could be supporting. Especially because a large chunk of Mosaic's force is completely off on its own.
Advance at speed!
That's when you collapse in the...
Double time! Fire on the enemy! Fill the skies! Orders understood! Riders on me!
Starting to see some movement from Rekar. Is he going on the offensive, or is he just marching to try to goad Mosaic into a move?
At speed! For glory! At for glory! Advance at speed!
So the rest of Rekar's ranged units are now in range, although those slingers are not going to be able to do too much against the thorax swordsmen with their heavy armor.
At speed! Advance at speed!
Unless he faces his backs to them like that, which is going to earn him some free kills.
Riders at the
Mosaic being very careful to micro his cavalry out of the way of the hoplites.
Advance! For quickly now! Advance at speed!
Lots of posture gaming right now. Not a whole lot of sustained combat.
Understood! Riders, advance! Honor! Top advance! By your command! Engage!
This looks like it's going to be it. Both sides, front lines about to clash. Mosaic starting to slip some cav around behind Rekar's primary line. Pike's about to get engaged here.
Double time! Riders! Riders! Advance! Engage!
So let's see, is Rekar going to be able to respond to this cav charge in the back? He doesn't have any hoplites back there, he's just got his medium cav, and that's about it. Along with his general and his entire range line. Rekar not adjusting his hoplites to face the flanking group either.
As you say.
Hoplites now taking flanking fire from Persian archers.
Swords drawn and think ready.
It's on their shield side, but we'll see if it does anything.
Alright, Dubs, you ready?
I think I left that
Oh no.
because I changed my settings
Okay, well,
and then it made me leave.
Forward!
yeah, there we go.
Glory! Fill the skies!
Now Rekar turning all of his ranged units back on the Bactrian cavalry is having a great effect against them.
Engage! King Antonius!
Looks like his left flank is
We
going to
understand.
give, though, with
It's
the
quickly
Bactrian
now.
rearguard making it a rang behind.
More quickly now! Forward! As you command!
Mosaic's cavalry still unable to reach that Spartan ranged line. If he can get to them, he can break one of the biggest DPS
Command!
pillars of this army.
By your command! Quick march!
Rekar engaging his Tarentine cavalry now. They must be out of ammo.
Forever loyal!
Alright, so the Spartan rear line is scattering now thanks to the Bactrian rearguard. Heroes of Sparta are going to be responding to that. Looks like the pikemen have dealt with whatever they were fighting, and so he's kind of dividing the rest of Mosaic's troops up to fight them individually.
Engage!
Mosaic is hitting multiple Spartan units from behind, though. This is kind of just where it breaks into a free-for-all.
Understood! As you command!
Spartans surrounded here.
Forever loyal!
Spartans surrounded over here as well.
As you wish!
Some Bactrians being hit by the flanking pikes. Are they being attacked, though, or is it just a standoff?
By your command!
Mosaic's general is in a very safe fight right now with Tarentine Cav, whereas Rekar's general likely going to be safe, but he is going off against some Royal Guard. That's always a risky little move.
Strike home! Strike home! Into the bellies! Back forward!
Got about 3.5 minutes left before this one's called, and at the moment, it's relatively even, if not a slight favor, to the Spartans. The Spartan ranged units are still slamming that cavalry. The cavalry is not responding. There's a perfect chance for these cav to sweep up and rout all of those guys, which we might actually see right here. Alright, yeah, we're going to see Mosaic's general go straight after those ranged units. And with all the ranged units bunched like that, it's going to be so easy to rout them all at once.
We understand!
Units flanking the Spartan pikes right here. If he's able to pull one of these, break contact, and get around those Spartan pikes back there, or even use his general for that, that's really the only way he's going to be able to break this and win. Those pikes are very vulnerable from behind. We've got... that could be an attack, and this could be an attack, and that's going to need to happen if he's going to make this work. He is going to charge back into the backs of these heroes of Sparta, though, which can deal some damage. They are super heavy infantry.
Form a wall! Form a wall! Quick march! As fast as we charge! Pack for glory!
So Mosaic's general at this point is chasing dead men. If he's aware of that, he should definitely pull them back, put them to use in the main battle, rally his men if he can, or charge into the back of some of those Spartan pikemen. But at the moment, okay, it looks like he's finally going to recall them. He's got to be really careful with this Spartan pike unit right here, though.
Quick march!
It's looking a bit rough for Bactria.
Pull back!
They're surrounded over here as well. Their thorax swordsmen trying to hold out. They're probably going to be able to do
Back now!
well against these Spartan hoplites, but if Rekar recognizes that these two pike units are not fighting, and he does engage them, that's going to mean serious problems for Bactria. Sparta now rushing back with some Tarentine Cav, trying to break combat over here with these Bactrian Rear Guard and go after Mosaic's general. Mosaic's going to keep migrating them out of the way. I think the only thing keeping the Bactrians in right now is the Cav, and so Mosaic's going to have to put these to use soon. Alright, Rekar's recognized that he's not engaged with these Thorax Swordsmen. He's committing. These Thorax Swordsmen winning their fight like I thought, but that might turn around unless something's done about these. Those pikemen are now going after the Cav. That could hurt Mosaic if he doesn't pull out. Tarentine Cav possibly going to loop around here and go after those Persian archers. Chase them off. I'm not sure what they're doing. Mosaic is pulling back with the cavalry. Still a close one. Ignore the number of units on the field. Those Spartan units can rout real quick if those Bactrian Cav hit them in the right spot.
Bleed them! Withdraw!
And that's game.
User joined your channel.
Welcome.
User joined your channel.
So that was a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Boo to the 20-minute time limit.
You guys were standing still for a long time.
We were having a cavalry tango.
Yeah.
Positioning is a valid part of the battle.
It is, but, I mean, there wasn't a lot of positioning going on. Rekar's unit was just one pretty much constant formation that was only shifted once or twice. And it was mostly the positioning was Mosaic breaking his force into two. Most of the time that was spent was cavalry running around. Just the cavalry micro. Positioning is definitely a part of it, but in these field battles, the engagement should be taking place a lot sooner.
As a viewer, I feel ripped off, is basically what I'm saying. Because that battle didn't end.
Yeah.
That battle was cut short.
It should have started much earlier, honestly. I think it was like 12 minutes of just very careful cav flirting.
Your roommate's doing the boogie behind you.
Yep, he was just pointing at my laptop.
So what's the next map?
It's Summer Seleucia. Make sure attacker direction is east-west.
Attacker direction west or east?
East or west, it doesn't matter.
Summer, day, dry?
Dry, correct.
Okay.
You're stream bombing, is what they're saying. He's a dancer. All right, you guys good?
Yep, I'm good.
All right. Here we go.
Should battle realism mode be enabled?
No.
Okay. Switching channels.
User left your channel. User left your channel.
Helix, I can see your lips moving on stream, but you're not talking.
Oh yeah, I was talking to my roommate. Sorry.
Oh,
So I
okay.
wasn't holding my push to talk.
I was very confused.
All right, so this match is definitely going to play differently. Sparta bringing a massive ranged presence to this fight. Slingers, archers, and peltasts everywhere. He is going to be building his Spartan pike line, but he's ditched the cavalry. I don't see any cavalry. On the flip side, less cav on the Bactrian team as well. Still only 2 archer units, but we do have the Greek polybos artillery. I don't know if those can be moved. They look like they're stationary. They don't have wheels on them.
They can be moved slowly, I think.
Slowly. Some unlucky bastard gets to stand on one side and carry it, and another guy on the other. More Bactrian Royal Guard and Thorax Pikemen as the primary units. Thorax Swordsman. Wait, I said Pikeman, didn't I? Yeah, he's got some Thorax Pikemen. Which
Yeah,
might
those be
be
the stationaries.
occupy those Spartan frontliners. A lot of Thorax Swordsmen beyond that, though. They're good and mobile, and if you can get them around the pikemen are pretty screwed. So unlike last night's games, we changed the direction of this map. So instead of each player having their own hill, this one is a scramble to get to the hill. It's going to be pretty punishing if somebody doesn't get up there. The peak is closer to Mosaic, but it's steeper, so he's going to exhaust himself getting up there quicker. One of the guys watching the stream says it's fixed artillery and won't move. So wherever he sticks it right now is likely going to be where it stays. I'm not sure he recognizes that. Rekar going all the way back to the back of the map. So there is not going to be a rush for the hilltop. It looks like Rekar is going to make Mosaic come to him. Mosaic is calling it done. Rekar is... He's called his pikeman forward. Is he going to rebuild this formation back at the front, or what is he doing? He might be rebuilding his formation at the front. Now I know since Mosaic hit in or ready, okay. Looks like Rekar is going to be able to do it in time. Alright. Rekar is going to move? Yes? No? What's he going to do? Okay, the Spartans are going to begin marching uphill. His formation is completely breaking though. He might not have grouped them properly. Either they're breaking or they're rotating. I can't tell yet. Mosaic rushing up the hill. It looks like Mosaic is definitely going to claim this hill. Rekar looks to be struggling a bit with his formation. Or, if he's not, his men are. They've started running. Mosaic still not spotted, but in a minute here it looks like his cav is going to peek over the ridge. And there's that. So, Rekar is aware that Mosaic owns the top of the hill, at least with cav.
Riders, advance! Take one with you! At the double! Riders, at the double!
So it'll be interesting to see how Rekar reacts to this here. He knows that Mosaic owns that hilltop. His men are still in relative disarray. Although if this is... Yeah, he knows he's up there. I'm seeing all those eyes for cover, but he can definitely see these units over here. He's actually firing on them now.
Follow quickly now! Right riders, at the double! Advance at speed! Quickly now!
So Mosaic's got two groups of the noble horse that are currently in defilade from the Spartans. The Spartans can't see them. They just spotted one, and the other one's about to be spotted if that's the case. But he has managed to get them around. Don't know if Rekar sees that. He might be focused on a ranged fight. With no cav to intercept this time, there we go. Rekar sees it. It's going to be really important for these heroes of Sparta to stay and guard the back line.
Right riders, at the
They
double!
come downhill now.
Follow me!
You can't just stand and take that fire from the Spartans. Interestingly, Mosaic is not using his archers very much. They're getting a couple shots off here and there, but they could be a little farther forward and putting some real hate down on the Spartans. General disarray. That's what this is. It's a historically accurate formation used by the famous General Disarray.
Find your targets!
Alright. So these thorax are now able to throw their pilum, their javelins, whatever they're carrying. And wow, those Spartan pikemen are eating them. They're taking beating on their march forward. So you see the clash. Mosaic throwing his troops into shield wall to raise their defense. Still not using the cav in the back. Can't really do much with those royal, the heavy Spartans in the back. Those heroes would chew him up. He is going to be able to outflank with... Yes. And if he can outflank here, he's probably going to force some of those royal Spartans or the heroes of Sparta to turn around and engage them.
Advance!
He's He's not going to go for the range disruption, though, which could cost him. If these slingers start getting a lot of shots off in their backs, these guys are going to start dropping like flies.
Advance at speed!
It'll only be worth it if you can break that group of Spartan pikemen quickly. And he's doing a number on them, but he's taking more casualties than he's dishing right now. We'll see what these thorax pikemen bring to play.
By your command,
Put in the cav.
double time!
Now he's really trying to come in and envelop the Spartan front line, cutting them off from the rest of the Spartan units. If he can do that, that'll spell doom for the front line of the Spartans. Oh, and this is really bad right here for Sparta. Their
Advance at speed!
ranged units are being pushed out of formation. I don't know if it's from skirmish mode or what, but they're being pushed out into the open, and they are now free game for the cavalry, should the cavalry choose to attack.
Form phalanx! Charge! Weaker enemies! Forward! Runners at the double! Attack for glory! Forward!
The archers are being moved into position. The thorax pikemen have somehow made it all the way back here, breaking contact with the heroes of Sparta. Here comes the cav charge on the ranged units. This is potentially devastating for Sparta. Very careful positioning with all the rest of the melee units, but right here, this melee right here is... This is a huge loss for Sparta if this goes all the way through. Spartan general throwing some debuffs down on the Bactrian general.
To arms! To arms! Understood!
He's definitely pinning the heroes of Sparta right here in melee combat with the thorax pikemen that he brought to play. This cav unit over here being unused is interesting. He could be flanking those Halet slingers.
Hold back!
I don't know what the range is. It looks like the heroes of Sparta are just out of range of those archers, but if we can start pinning those with the Persian archers, that could also do a number.
Right riders at the double! Advance! Hack them down!
I mean, honestly, Album, it's not really just that. Even with a time limit, his formation should have been tidier. I mean, just simply playing by backing your guys to the edge of the map. I actually have a rule against that. I don't want anybody border mapping, like border camping, because that's just not good in the spirit of the game. So marching up the hill, his units completely broke formation, and I don't think that's from the time limit. I think that's just that was just poor formation management. That's my roommate, yep. Still no usage of these Bactrian cav over here. These guys pulling off as well. He's running the heroes of Sparta around though. They're gonna get a lot, they'll be exhausted a lot quicker than the cav will be.
Advance at speed! This is at the double! Riders forward!
Zig really trying to keep his general out of harm's way here. The heroes of Sparta just about to reach them.
Riders advance! Glory!
It's not gonna work.
Advance at speed!
Downhill charge right into these Spartan hoplites. Looks like they turn around just at the last moment, which is going to protect them from some of the charge damage. Now this is very, very dangerous right here. If Mosaic loses his general into this, which he's getting pincers from all sides, this is potentially a huge loss.
As you come out!
Cavalry dropping like crazy. He's really trying to pull them out now. but they are pinned. This is very, very dire for him.
At the double!
Yeah, but Album, I don't think he's losing because he decided to fight on the hill. His decision to fight on the hill was not an issue, I don't think. It's the fact that when moving up the hill, he completely broke his formation. Honestly, if you lose a game because you can't border camp at the edge of the map like that, you know, and you know, avoid the entire purpose of this map, which is the hill strategy, then you're probably, you know, not deserving of the win, honestly. So Mosaic completely aware of his cav back here. They are about to get flanked by these Heroes of Sparta. No real damage done, but if he doesn't realize that and pull them out soon, he's going to lose yet another unit. It looks to me like the Bactrian general is dead.
Charge! Form a wall! Hack them down! Engage! Hack them
Persian
down!
archers, I guess, out of ammo because they're charging into melee. This is still very even. So he did rout the noble horse. So what was looking like a good battle for Bactria is actually kind of turning around. The Spartans have been able to deal with all the flanking and actually outflank the Bactrians. Losing most of their melee units did not hurt them as much as it could have. Rekar had better pull his Spartan general back into the main fray. He's going to need him.
Advance at speed! Charge! Break the lines! Yes, Commander! Popliteans! Form phalanx! For glory! As you wish.
So these Spartan hoplites here, that's definitely a losing fight. Although it is against two archer units, it's still a losing fight. These two, however, look like winning fights for the Spartans. And with this cav charge by Mosaic, that looks pretty desperate. He was going after the mercenary Cretan archers, which are a good unit to go after, but he is likely going to take some serious casualties to these Heroes of Sparta. Actually, wait, it looks like the majority of the cav are separate from that.
Engage!
Rekar really needs to pull his Heroes of Sparta back to the main battle. They are desperately needed. If he could put them right there and flank those Thorax swordsmen.
Cut for honor!
Mosaic is putting his cav to good use right here by attacking the last of these Spartan ranged units. I don't see any others on the map. It kind of sucks for Bactria. These artillery being completely immobile are wasted points sitting on the other side of the hill.
Break them!
Alright, so this battle for the Spartans was lost over here. That frees up these Bactrian units to engage the rest of the Spartans.
At the double! We understand! Advance at speed! Engage! Shield walls! Riders come forward!
Woo! That Intimidate and the War Cry, that's going to really hurt the morale of these Thorax swordsmen. They are routing now. They can still regather themselves, but they are out at a critical point. Good cav flanking move by Mosaic into the back of these Spartan hoplites. That's really going to hurt their morale, losing decisively here. Rekar, you'd better pull these Spartans up. Alright, so Rekar is bringing those hoplites up to hit the Bactrian noble horse in the back, while these Bactrian royal guards
Riders,
are
advance!
shaken.
Advance at speed!
This is very, very close here. Looks like he's going to commit his Spartan general to chasing off those guys, making sure they don't come back. Those cavalry are quite hurt. Their effectiveness is diminished greatly. Bactrian Royal here look to be losing against the Spartan Hoplites. These Spartan Hoplites are not being utilized the best. If you could break contact with those archers, because that fight's pointless, and loop them up around and hit from behind, you could do a lot more damage. Cav are going to come back.
Advance at speed.
Flanking and outflanking and outflanking. So here comes a good move by Rekar and a calf charge by Mosaic.
Quickly now. For honor.
Oh, look at that! Those Bactrians just slipping out of harm's way. They were not going to be pincered today.
For glory. On advance at speed. Pull back. On the double time. On at speed.
Oof.
Yes.
So a
advance
lot of
at
morale issues in the
speed.
Bactrian army right now, looking quite bad.
On my order.
These Thorax swordsmen have reformed. We might have another draw on our hands here.
Double time.
I wish we had 30-minute timers. I might just up it to 40 minutes. So we're seeing a lot of routing by the Bactrians, but they still have a few units. They're pulling back into a defensive formation. They're going to make use of the polybos. Spartans, I'm not sure if the Spartans are even aware that artillery is back there. So they're going to have exhausted infantry marching toward it.
The double time. On double time. Advance at speed.
I definitely still would argue
At the double.
vehemently that Rekar's poor positioning was just due to him breaking his formation carelessly, not from the
Understood.
time limit, forcing him to like redeploy at the
As
base
you
of the hill.
command.
But I do think we will up the time limit with 2 draws here. 2 Greek factions fighting like this, the battles are going to take a lot longer because it's just a lot of spear poking and stuff. But I think I'm okay. If we have a battle like yesterday's where the Parthians, you know, were encircling everybody and just not moving, I'll try to force it and tell them that they've got to do something, but I don't think I'll use the timer for that. I think I'll go ahead and extend the timer to 40.
Yes, command.
Still completely even. Polybos now able to fire. This is ridiculous. I don't think that's going to turn the battle around. I think Sparta does have this, but
On at the double.
what would be really, really good here would be for Mosaic to turn these Bactrian Royal Guard around and pin the Spartans in combat, sustain them in combat, and get that polybos firing on them. Instead, we're just going to see these Bactrian Royal Guard get picked off one by one from behind and rout.
Yes, advance at speed.
They are going to break.
At the
So we
time.
definitely have a larger Spartan group remaining, some still at the top of the hill. 2 of them being bricks of those heroes of Sparta. His general is still almost complete strength. Ugh.
At speed.
As much as I want to call this a draw, I don't see how it's possible for
Quick march.
these guys to, for the Bactrians to survive this.
Engage. Orders understood. For glory. Form a wall. Fire on the enemy.
and that's the game.
User joined your channel.
Wow, another draw.
Yeah, that was really close. Do you think you could have won it?
Probably not.
So, go ahead and set the timer to 40. 20. I wish there was a 30-minute option. Set it to 40, but if you guys take a really long time, like Zoli and Hatchet did, I'll message you.
What's the next map?
User joined your channel.
It is going to be. It's Akink, A-K-I-N-K, and it's Dry Winter Day.
Damn it, J-Dubs, I swear to God I'm gonna beat you one of these times.
Do we have to fight again? That was bullshit. I was about to win.
So what, Oh, those are polybios. I wanted scorpions, that's why I couldn't move them. Fuck. That explains a lot, actually.
Alright, well, I forfeit. You win, Mosaic, because I have to go get food.
If I'd been able to move those fucking scorpions, I might have stood a chance against you, but...
Well,
Well, so you guys drew the first one out right. I don't know which way that battle was going. But I'll leave it to you guys to decide who gets the second win, because that was down to the wire with seconds left. Technically, it was a draw because there were, you know, the clock ran out and both people were still standing. But I'll let you guys decide.
I honestly think I would have won that last little engagement, but I don't know for sure. What did you have left, Mosaic?
Bactrian Royal Guard, Thorax, Swordsman, the Polybolos. And I can't remember. I think there was another unit that was like routing, but recovered somewhere else on the field.
I don't know.
From Spectator, I think Rekar's troops, he had his general left and he had 400 Heroes of Sparta remaining, plus all the rest of his units.
Yeah.
And you didn't have your general or a lot else. But it comes down to how do you want to treat this? Do you want to treat it as Rekar would have won that one, or do you want to treat it as timer ran out, so that was technically a draw as the rules were set?
Well, it depends on would I get another match to go for the tie if Rekar won? Because it'd be a tie and a loss, and then if we did a third one that I could win, that would be one win each and a tie, which would be an overall tie.
Well, yeah, we can't have overall ties. The way it is, usually at least, is that a tie is a 1-1, and then if this one was also a draw, it would be like 2-2. And then the final match would be the tiebreaker.
So the issue here is there's no decent counter to Rekar's setup other than onagers.
I think there is. It's
Like his setup is what he's doing has existed since Rome Total War, and in Rome Total War it was called the noob box.
well, yeah.
The only way to beat it was with onagers or horse archers.
Archers is the key. You need archers in order to beat Sparta.
Well, archers have been nerfed to the point where even if I had really high-end archers, they wouldn't be able to kill his Heroes of Sparta effectively enough. Not with the amount of ammo they have. Like the things that we've restricted from the matches kind of make that strategy really, really tough.
Honestly, I felt like you had him for a while. There were you had cav that weren't being used at a couple points.
His units are just too tough. Like one-on-one, my Bactrian Royal Guard, they can't beat the Heroes of Sparta. No, none of my infantry can beat the Heroes of Sparta, and the Heroes of Sparta are like, hold on, let me check how much they cost. Yeah, his Heroes of Sparta cost like 300 less than my my Bactrian Royal Spears, Royal Guard, and they have better stats. You know what I mean? Like, his infantry is just better than mine. There's no way I can win a straight fight with his infantry, and because it's spear infantry, my horses, I can't do hammer and anvil on it either. The one thing I could do maybe is run Rome, and then Roman swordsman would eventually be able to beat him down, but maybe it would be kind of a toss-up, honestly, especially with the pikes there. Really, the only thing for densely massed hoplites like that, when you're eliminating all the possible flanks, is artillery. And that's kind of what it exists for, is densely packed formations of infantry. That is the point of artillery.
But
If I hadn't fucked up and grabbed the polybolus instead of the scorpion there, I wouldn't have rushed the hill, and I would have held back, and he would have had to come to me. And once he came to me and engaged me, I would have won the flank game, and I could have just constantly retrieved my scorpions, whittling him down.
I mean, that's
That alone
kind of
would
the
have
point
been
of javelin men. The heavy javelins that they carry. If you get
Well,
them,
did you see what my javelins were doing? Like, I used all the javelins on my swordsman. All
well,
my
you were
swordsmen
attacking from the
javelins.
front. If you pin the heroes of Sparta in combat and then javelin them from any direction but the
Okay,
front, they will.
The issue with that is he has better units for less money, which means I'll never be able to outnumber him and get a flank on him.
I mean, you had him outflanked at several points. You were wrapping your units around
with
the back of
cavalry.
his front
I had
line.
him
No,
outflanked with
your
cavalry.
infantry were wrapping
No,
around the backs.
he had to pull infantry off his front line to protect his archers from my cavalry. That was the only reason that flank happened. He had 5 units that were unengaged, and I had 2 units that were unengaged. So if I hadn't positioned my cavalry behind him, basically if he had any way to fight my cavalry off effectively, then I would have lost the match. Of course, he might not have had as many spears if that was the case, but still. I guess I could have taken maybe elephants, and maybe that would have been enough to break the formations of the spearmen so my swordsmen could get in. But that's expensive. I wouldn't have been able to bring enough swordsmen. Yeah.
I mean, you had it the first game. You had broken his formation up really, really well, and you had basically gotten around him. A lot of his pikes were starting to turn in on you and face your. He was trying to like loop his pikemen around to face you, and there were a lot of opportunities to hit his pikemen from behind. And so his formation was completely broken in the grassy field battle.
Yeah.
So I don't think it requires artillery. I think there are plenty of ways to do it. And your swordsman
Well, the
can
thing is,
beat his.
the grassy field battle was to my advantage in every possible way because I had infantry that are lighter than his. I could maneuver around him. I had the cavalry advantage. Like that was a best case scenario for me to fight that box formation on. Absolute best case scenario.
Wrecker, I'm glad you moved by the hill though, because that edge of the map thing was. I'm not going to eject you for it, or I wouldn't have ejected you for it, but that would have definitely been an automatic loss.
Oh.
Where you put your guys to the back of the map, you know, the red border to where players literally can't go around it. You back your guys up there and then put a pike wall out around it, so there's literally no way to outflank you. It's just a game mechanic exploit.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of do that, but at the same time, I was actually thinking he was going to bring some sort of artillery, because I was thinking about it, and that's how I would have dealt with it. And I guess
I did have artillery. It just grabbed the fucking
The
wrong
one that
the
couldn't
immobile
move,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
The worst part of Rome 1 multiplayer matches, and it still happens in this one too, players will do that. They'll go to the corner of the map, so there's even less of a line, and they'll like double stack pikemen, multiple rows of pikemen, and and you might not think to bring artillery that match, and if you don't, then you're screwed. You're right that you need artillery if you can't outflank them, but I don't know. You guys can keep discussing, and we can come back to this, and we can even do a tiebreaker if you really both decide you want to. I don't know, but I want to get to the next game. So, Wimiski and Hickey,
Guilty.
one of you go ahead and host a multiplayer battle, and same password, make spectator slots, and once we're all in there, I'll tell you what map and everything to set it to. We're going to start our new rotation of maps for this new set.
I can probably set up the host real quick. Title was Rome BW.
Okay. And up in, I think, the top left is where the Add Spectators button is.
I did that.
Neat. Okay, so set the map to... It's a preset called BAM Citadel, B-A-M Citadel. And it's Autumn, Daytime, Sandstorm.
Attack your direction.
On this map it doesn't matter. Do north. Wimiski, you able to join?
Looking for it.
Hickey, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
the maximum number of archers I can take as Bactria is 8 because we have a 4 unit card limit.
Still a lot. That's an obscene amount of archers.
Not nearly enough to break a box like that.
What's font
Not-
size?
The most
Large
shooting
funds,
archers you can take
time
in
limit
Rome is
40.
3, so I mean,
What's the password again?
Same as always.
you're in the wrong BW lobby.
It's Rome. Rome BW.
Yeah, I want a tiebreaker.
Get the invite, Wimiski? There you go. Sweet.
Okay, we need to hop down channel, right?
Yep.
Rip me.
User left your channel. User left your channel.
We might be doing that, Joey. We'll see. We've got this match is now kicking off, and then after this one, we've got one more for the night.
Carter, are you still there?
All right, this one will be interesting. First time we've had a sandstorm. Macedon rolling cav and spear heavy. We've got missile cav, heavy shot cavalry. We've got hoplites and a lot of pikemen. He's going with the full historical build here. He's got a very, very Macedonian build. On the other side, Rome, a not so historical build, but a varied one. We've got Roman Scorpion artillery. We've got African elephants, not the war elephants, And a bunch of first cohort, 4 of them. Saki Equites Extraordinari, Praetorian Cavalry, and a Legatus General, some auxiliary Numidian Cavalry, and a bunch of, okay, some Balearic Slingers and Velites. Very, very mixed bag from Rome. And Hickey is going full History Channel with his build, oh my god.
Other than spoiling my... They can barely think, their language is horrible, and they're
Well, you're just in time to see the start of this one, Joey. Very, very easy formation to micromanage here that Hickey's got. Rome split in a much different manner. Rome spent a significant amount of money on these Praetorian cavalry as well as their 4 units of first cohort. So they definitely are at a disadvantage with numbers.
Steady, lads! Wait for the one! Ah!
Hey Crane, how's it going? So we've got Hickey versus Wimsky. Hickey's bringing a very standard Macedonian deck here, built like they used to. And Wimsky has a pretty non-standard Roman deck here. I don't think Wimsky can see Hickey's cab over there because he has completely isolated his artillery on its own, and he's even pulling the African elephants away. That sandstorm might be blocking his view too much.
Oh man, this is gonna suck to fight in.
The sandstorm?
Yeah.
Oh yes. My roommate's telling me to put that sandstorm song on. Okay, so the Scorpions are firing now. They've opened up on the Thessalian cavalry. That hurts. They're still going to be taken out, though. There's no way Wimsky can stop this from happening. The dreaded Macedonian pike wall marching slowly forward. Roman cavalry making a break for the Macedonian cav. However, that is all very heavy cavalry with heavy command, whereas there is some heavy shot cav, a lot of it's medium cav. Roman artillery is down. Elephants are slowly marching. Wimsky with a hard cav flank here, and Hickey not responding in time. Boom. That is some vicious knockdown force right there. He's trying to shift his peltasts frantically to hit these guys. Tarantine Cav coming in to now throw their javelins. Those are pretty vicious against cavalry.
Double time!
Tarantine Cav just messing with the other Cav. It's much lighter weight, so it's able to move faster. First cohort shielding themselves from the peltasts. And these poor hoplites. First a cav charge, now they're having to weather all this horrible range fire from slingers and velites. Rome is pretty cool. I really like Arverni and Athens, but that's from like a campaign map perspective. To battle with, probably Rome or maybe Seleucia. So the elephants are now engaged in combat with the Macedonian cav and doing a number on a lot of them. One of those units was really ruined. Yeah, those elephants were winning decisively. No casualties, not panicked. They don't care. Roman infantry marching into the pikes. We'll see how they last. So this is the way to beat the pikemen like this. Flanking them with these ranged units and cav is exactly how the Romans were able to beat the Macedonians and the Greek factions and subdue them in real life. But Wimbiski getting hit in the rear from the cav charge from the Salian cavalry. If you're not careful about that, you're going to lose your one piece of leverage in this fight. And he cannot afford to lose his flanking element. Those elephants still very slowly marching. Kind of a slow but threatening presence there, holding the Macedonian cavalry at bay. Wimbiski unable to protect his ranged units and his cav, both getting picked off by the Macedonian cav. And the Roman general unit actually in really bad shape. This is dangerous right here. Wimbiski's legatus sitting in a lot of trouble. Hawk Rocks, I don't stream super often. I have like bouts where I'll stream a bunch, and then sometimes where I won't stream at all for like a week or two. It's really random. It depends on what I'm playing at the time, I guess. And on my internet connection. I have a really good internet connection, but I feel like sometimes Comcast will throttle me because I'll be streaming a game that streams perfectly fine, like Rome 2 here, and then you know, one night it'll just be super jittery and stuff. It'll freeze up completely for a minute and then catch up and then stop again. So these poor first cohort are getting eaten by the pikes, and these elephants actually now taking some casualties from the frontal charge. I definitely would have maybe gotten them around behind the pike line and done that. The elephants out of the way though. There is free reign for all of this Macedonian cavalry to hit the Romans from behind, and I think this is going to be game right here. He did a really good job. Wimbiski did a good job at getting around the pike line early on, and he was able to dish out some damage, kill a lot of hoplites, and even lay some, get some kills on those pikemen, but not enough before his flanking move was chopped up. First win goes to Hickey. Dexter, why is Epirus your first pick for kind of historical playthroughs?
User joined your channel.
All right.
User joined your channel.
That went about as well as expected.
Your flanking was spot on there. You were getting right around the pikemen. Oh, my game crashed. I'm gonna have to reboot it. You were flanking right around his pike line. You killed a lot of those hoplites, and you were where you needed to be. But there were just a couple of points where like you had a cav unit facing the wrong way, and they got flanked, and you lost a lot of your flanking power. But you were right where you needed to be for a good while there.
Helix.
Yeah.
I broke a rule.
You broke a
I
rule.
just realized. I brought 5 thorax swordsmen.
Oh, I wasn't even counting.
It wasn't. It's not even a great unit. It's just. I wasn't paying attention. Fuck's sake.
Alright, I'm relaunching and I'm joining. But the next map is called Petrodava, and it's going to be Summer Day Rain.
Okay, give me 1 second.
So Pyrrhus as a historical figure really interests you? His campaigns and everything, Dexter? Yeah, that's fun. I'm not a big fan of Epirus's colors in this. Like It's an orange, which is an okay orange, I guess, and then it's mixed with like almost a neon green. The flag has the white, but then their units actually have like neon green. It looks kind of crazy.
I think I might have brought 5 pikemen too. I didn't realize it was 4.
Yeah, it's not hard to do by accident.
Nope.
I have to wonder now if Ricard did the same at any point.
Okay. So let's see. The second map was which one? Petrotava. Right.
So how do you want to deal with that if you brought more than the allotted number? Wimiski and Hickey.
I don't care. I'm just doing this for the hell of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not like I just did a spam wall of pikemen or anything. It was a reasonable amount. Yeah, it was 5 of them. See, for the next map, I'll probably end up doing someone else. Question is who? Okay.
I also think it might have happened in the first game, Mosaic, because you had those Royal Bactrian cavalry. You had 4 of them, and then I think you might have had the general.
The general
was the 5th
unit.
one.
The general's a different unit.
It was a different one. Okay.
It's a lancer unit, a shock cav unit instead of a
Okay,
melee
okay.
cav. My infantry might have been. I might have taken more thorax swordsmen that time too, though. For some reason, I didn't even think about for the infantry. I don't know why.
Also, Wim, you're the host if you didn't know.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, so go ahead and change the map to a preset called Petrodava. And the season is summer, time of day is day, and then weather is rain.
Season is summer, time of day is day, and weather is rain.
Sweet. Good stuff.
Right.
I shouldn't have even played that second match after the first one.
Why?
That first match was just pretty bullshit.
In what regard? Like what?
Like, in the regard that... Just the whole... Like, he backed himself up against the red border.
No, he didn't.
He wasn't even close to the
Near.
red border.
On the first one, he wasn't. There was plenty of room. The second one, he was, and then at the last second, he rebuilt his formation at the base of the hill and didn't do it.
Alright, so we ready?
Yep.
Considering one last thing, I might as well just do those. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, after I get my ass kicked again.
Hawk Rocks, we do have a siege planned.
User left your channel.
the winners of the semifinals will go on to play each other in the final game, and it's going to be a really, really challenging series of maps. But there's going to be a game for third place, a runner-up match, and that is going to be a series. It's going to be one siege. Each person is going to have a chance to attack and defend, and then the tiebreaker, if it's needed, is going to be something a little crazy.
Okay, let's hop back down one.
Yep.
User left your channel.
So this is a good map. I like this one a lot, actually. It's really, really interesting. It's got plenty of hills to break line of sight and a lot of trees. There are very, very, very many ways that you could position yourself. Or you could just duke it out in the center of the valley. We'll see how they handle this. So, Wimski's Roman Legion this time. He's got some of the same units, but it looks like he has foregone the cavalry, at least that same kind of extremely expensive cav, as well as the elephants. And instead... You are... Am I? He does have Gladiator Spearmen, some Triarii for the Cav, and then he's brought everybody's favorite, the Armored Roman Legionaries. On the Swabian side, Noble Riders, great pick.
Never mind, there was...
Scout Riders all along. Those guys are tough to work with. They need heavy micro to make sure they don't die. They are extremely weak. He's got plenty of missile infantry. Those longbowmen, longbow hunters, are great units. But his infantry, round shield swordsmen, sword masters, round shield swordsmen. So the round shield swordsmen will not be able to stand up to those Roman armored legionaries. That's going to be a tough one. So Wemski has positioned himself on the hills. It's interesting. I don't know if he's hidden though. If he was in these woods, that would be working in his favor. However, he's not. He's simply up on the hill. So who's gonna make what move? Scout Riders hidden off in the woods over here. Main force is right here, although partially obscured in the woods. And what is this? Oh, Night Hunters. Hickey has Night Hunters. And they are way off behind the Romans. Now, it's interesting, though. He's not using them at all. He's not inching them through the woods. He's not trying to do any sort of scouting. And if most of Wimski's army is pulled forward, these Night Hunters, here we go, now they're moving, are going to be way out of the way. They're going to have to sprint across a huge open field, and they'll probably be spotted, possibly swept up by a cav. I like the wild card moves like this, but it takes very, very careful timing. Yeah, man, Swabian units are great. I love the look of them. I also really like the Iceni units. Arvernier are my go-to guys, but that's just because I like how they play on the campaign map. They've got great technology and great diplomatic options. But as straight-up warriors, the Swabians are awesome. Great positioning by both players so far. Hickey is recalling the scout riders, likely to try to face them off with these auxiliary Numidian cavalry.
Attack! For Germania! Fire!
I really do think that Hickey has the ranged advantage here. These Germanic hunters are much better than the slingers that Wimsky has brought along. However, God, in a melee battle, Hickey is in deep trouble. So this is really going to be about skirmishing and maneuvering, which, I mean, that's really how these barbarian factions are meant to be played. The Romans have those heavy infantry, but the barbarians can just get around them and move around them and exhaust them and frighten them. Alright, now begins the horse skirmishing. Woo! They have faced themselves backwards, I guess from their skirmish mode. Oh man, those light scout riders taking a punishing beating. Oh wow, wiped. Wiped. 100% wiped. They are like the lightest of light cavalry. They're called very light in this game, and I don't know of many that are called that. Auxiliary Numidian Cav are taking casualties though, but it's kind of late. We've got the ambushers sneaking up ever so carefully. I don't know what he's going to spring them on. Roman heavy cav coming up on the flank. And where is the heavy cav? Okay, so the heavy cav from the Swabians has been pulled back around and up here to try to deal with those, which is opening up this side entirely. There are no Swabian spearmen to deal with this Roman cavalry charge. So a Roman cavalry charge into the side of these already medium swordsmen going up against armored legionaries. Hickey's in trouble. He's also got he's got no defensive line back here, so if those cav peel off and go after the ranged units, there's nothing stopping them. Heavy Swabian cav continuing to pursue those guys as if they're worth something. Roman general is now chasing off these guys. So Rome definitely microing well here. Positioning very, very intelligently. So Hickey has managed to pin the Balearic slingers. This is a good move. He's going to manage to get him. But at what cost? We'll see. He's about to realize that the lack of heavy cav in his backfield, his heavy cav are still occupied. They have wiped the Numidian auxiliary cav over there, which is good, but now they've been pulled away from the conflict entirely. Now this is interesting. Roman cavalry they've stopped in their tracks.
Fire on them!
Okay, now they're pursuing.
Fire!
Ambushers have been brought out, and instead of coming up behind, what really they need to be doing right now is coming up behind these Roman heavy units. That is what they're built for. These Roman cav are not moving. Instead of pursuing, I thought they were pursuing. Instead of pursuing the ranged units, they're standing there just getting chewed up. So what looked really, really good for Rome is turning around again. The artillery is firing. With a risk of friendly fire there. Good flank by the Roman cav. That might break those round shield swordsmen. Artillery is not long for this world at this point. Rome definitely winning this melee battle here. Those heavy legionaries are brutal soldiers. Got the Knight Hunters now coming up from the side of the Triarii and the armored legionaries. And cheering! They are so happy. at that. They're just having a party. And now they're not. Roman legionaries are charging. Some Roman legionaries separated over here, just getting completely surrounded by Swabian units. Great move by Wimsky here. He has taken his armored legionaries, which were mostly idle, and looped around, and now he's hitting from the side. Here comes a flank from the Swabian scout cav with their heavy javelins. Now I think Roman can come back from this if he can force these final units right here, these sword masters, to break, because I think these legionaries can weather the attacks from these noble riders if they're smart about it. But there is no more Roman cav on the field. It looks like the Roman general may have been killed. General's unit's running, although he's not routing. That's interesting. Morale failing for the Romans here as the Swabians envelop them.
Advance at speed!
Yep, the Swabians played it well. The Romans had an excellent flank, and the Swabians were letting their units go off to the edge of the map, so there was a real window there where Rome could have completely gobbled up all of the Swabian ranged units, and even started hitting the Roman unit, the Swabian units from behind, as they eventually did, and you could see that it routed them. But too little too late, as the Swabian heavy cav returned, and these guys right here, these heavy Roman cav, which would have been instrumental, were forgotten, not microed, and died in the open field. Roman general's unit, whether there's a general in it or not, headed back into the battle. Suevia should really be pushing the advantage here. They've got their guys in headhunt mode, which is good, but it's going to exhaust. They're already exhausted, fighting tired heavy legionaries. It's really good now that they're bringing these cav back in, because those Romans are going to finish off those sword masters. For best effect, these guys should be pulled back and then charged in, and then pulled back and then charged in. Standing in combat like that, they're not shock cavalry, they're just heavy melee, but it still really helps to do that. Suebian infantry is breaking now. With the noble riders standing in combat like this, we're actually seeing a good number of them die. The general's unit has been halved. The Swabian general unit has been halved.
Pull back!
Whatever was left of the Roman legatus general is about to... yeah, they're done. So here we are with a bunch of heavy Roman legionaries and a bunch of Suebi cavalry with some ranged units remaining.
Gotcha!
Those armored legionaries can hold out against a lot. For the real advantage here, to press it when he had the chance, he should have been charging and falling back and charging and falling back while the legionaries were engaged. But now the legionaries can just turn and face them, and that will minimize the charge damage quite a bit. However, with no general, it's going to be tough. If they can kill the Swabian general, I could see this turning around, but at the moment, it looks like Suebi's going to have this fight.
Serena! If I see advances me! Fighters! Forward! Bring it! Charge! For Germania!
Finishing off these horse runners, which is very good. Now he's going to want to turn around really quickly here and set up a flank. Oh, is he going to turn around? Yes. So he faced him just in time to minimize the charge damage. He does have Swordmasters coming back in. These noble riders exhausted standing in combat with these legionaries. This is risky. He could lose his general here. And counterattacking these cav as they come in too minimizes the charge damage. He's playing it well, but I think that's game. Both well played by both teams. Wimiski twice has an advantage, and then it slips out of his grasp. And Hickey comes away with the win for the bracket, actually. So now we've got one more game, or one more face-off tonight, and that's going to be Album and J-Dubs.
User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
Good
Okay,
stuff.
so could somebody explain to me why my cavalry, instead of going the 500 or 600 meters behind the infantry line that I wanted them to do and told them to do, went straight for the infantry?
The units that you have can sometimes charge without your commands. That's been a feature.
No, he was Romans.
Yeah.
No, any cavalry unit can charge an enemy unit if they're moving in their direction without your command.
Was it your auxiliary guys? How they just kind of...
No, all of my heavy well, yeah, the auxiliary guys did the same thing, but my heavy guys, I wanted them to go behind the infantry line and then hit them in the rear, and instead they just kind of YOLO'd.
Yeah, if you're moving your cavalry like in the general direction of infantry line, if the infantry is like 15 degrees to the left or the right of the direction you're moving your cavalry, something like that, they will choose to charge those infantry targets, like 10% of the time.
Yeah,
Just
you
a
know
thing
when I
that they
took
did.
them off the hill where the Scorpion was set up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to take them off the hill, like parallel to or perpendicular to the two combat lines, and right from there, they started charging infantry.
J-Dubs, I have a match ready to go.
It's also possible that when you
right now.
selected another unit, you still had them selected.
Your cav still did pretty well. They didn't lose a lot when they trimmed that unit. Where they got wasted was they were behind the enemy line, and they were about, I guess, to charge the Swabian like bowmen and stuff. But instead of doing that, they ended up standing still and getting
I couldn't get
wiped.
them to respond at all.
There's 2 BW matches. Is it
It's
BAM
the one on
Citadel
BAM
or...
Citadel.
Okay. No shame?
No shame.
But good God, freaking... Forget how fucking cheap
Hey, Riley.
engineers are. Or how ridiculously powerful they are. And from any other faction, those are usually 1,200, but goddamn Rome.
Could you guys make sure there are spectator slots in there?
There are. Oh. Yeah, there are.
Weird. I'll try again. Okay, I got it. Hey, Riley's, how's it going? Okay, everything looks good here. Both teams make sure that you don't have any more than 4 of one particular unit.
Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for the fights.
Yeah, good stuff. Well played.
User disconnected from your channel.
Alright, so we can't use elephants, right?
You can use elephants. You can't use the very heavy armored war elephants.
Yeah, that's all I have the option for.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Newt, how's it going?
Alright, whenever you're ready, let me know.
I'm gonna hop to the AFK channel. What else will be around?
Okay.
User joined your channel. User left your channel.
Mm,
Crane, we're doing this tournament. There's a post about it on the forums. This is the last of tonight. It is Alabum versus J-Dubs. Alabum beat Captain Awesome yesterday, 2-0, and so he has graduated on to fight J-Dubs today. J-Dubs had a bye week the first day. Bye session, bye bracket, whatever.
I don't think I deserve the buy.
I'm probably gonna get crushed.
All right, you guys hop on down.
User left your channel. User left your channel.
Oh, well, there's a big campaign. It's turn-based. It's not quite like Civilization, but it's a big turn-based map where you're managing, you know, buildings and income and politics and all that stuff. And then these are the battles. Whenever you clash your armies together, it zooms in onto the map and takes you into one of these real-time battle modes.
Did they already start their match?
Yes.
Okay.
And from here, you take bricks of units and you command them individually. Tell them, you know, where to face, who to attack, etc., etc. So the result is these massive battle lines of thousands of guys, you know, clashing in combat, moving around to flank each other, etc. All right, so today Album is running with Rome. I think he did yesterday as well. Legionary Cav, Legionaries. Okay, yeah, this is a lot like what he brought last time, only he's gotten a lot of Principes in his build this time. Saki Hastadi. He's got War Dogs, that's fun. So he hasn't brought anything particularly modern or heavy. The auxiliary Syrian archers are the only seriously heavy and advanced unit he's brought. The rest of it looks to be simple manpower. On the other side, Parthia. Last time we saw Parthia play, it was the horse spam. This time, it's a very balanced army. Parthian swordsmen, Persian hoplites, some hillmen, very, very weak throwaway units, but good for the meat grinder. Lots of Eastern Javelin men, a Scorpion, and for sure, cavalry. J-Dubs has brought some great cavalry. That's super heavy cav. Slow, fatigues relatively easily, but against a lot of these weaker, cheaper Roman units, a good flank could be devastating. So, a good matchup here.
Hey, here, like something to consider. Those hillmen, they do extra armor-piercing damage.
Yeah, although the armor-piercing, these Roman units are more here for the manpower, not for the armor-piercing. Or not for the heavy armor. They don't have, say, armored legionaries or praetorians or anything like that.
If an engaged Principe unit is flanked by the hillmen, they will get decimated by
Oh, yeah. It's all in how quickly those hillmen can move. They're good for meat grinders because they're so cheap, but they're also great for flanking. Those axes that they've got are devastating. Alright, so the battle kicks off. Rome in a very tight formation, good formation. Parthia very spread out. Which, if he's trying to outflank the Romans, that will certainly allow him to. I love the look of these noble blood cav. Not as much as the cataphracts, though. Where are they?
off then. Now is the hour. Draw your sword. In the middle line, now I wish artillery had never been invented. Advance!
Parthian artillery already able to open up. I don't know. Not very many casualties so far. Hopefully he's not targeting those loose formation. Looks like he might be targeting the center cohort.
Archers! Advance at speed! In the name of Rome! Forward! Advance at speed! Quiet, advance! Advance at speed! Engage!
So Rome is pushing really heavy on Parthia's right flank, committing completely to it. If he doesn't reform his lines, okay, it looks like he's about to get in formation.
User left your channel.
Under a lot of fire, though. The fact that he only brought legionaries as his heaviest unit is going to hurt right here. War dogs already aggroed. Here they go. Some of the Roman cavalry engaging these native angry dogs. I have a wonderful screenshot I'll post in the Twitch chat in just a second, guys. I was playing a battle with this Rekar guy from earlier tonight, and the enemy we were fighting had like 5 units or 6 units of war dogs. So I sent a cavalry unit in to distract them, and all of the cav died but one guy, and all of the dogs chased him off the map. I'm going to post the screenshots.
Mandata Tua! Right, advance at speed! Charge! March! Advance!
I think Rome really missed an opportunity here by sending their war dogs after the hoplites and cavalry. They would have done a number on the skirmisher backline and those hillman units.
Charge! Fight hard, boys! Advance! Charge! Bring charge! Rome is mother to us all! Riders at the double! Withdraw! Go quickly now!
There it is. There's an imager link for the crazy dogs. So the forces have met, and there is really no semblance of a front line or anything right now. It's just an all-out brawl. Units spread pretty much everywhere. Roman general is safe at the moment. Parthian general is as well. Those royal cataphracts don't care about pylon, do they? Parthi's gonna have to do some flanking here because right now standing fights with the larger number of Roman soldiers is just not going to work for them.
Back! Back! Withdraw!
A lot of cavalry up here not being utilized.
Fire! Charge! Quick march! Back! Back now! Fire on the enemy! Forward! Men at the double!
Committed all of them to chasing down these legionaries. Getting that kill is good, but he could be doing that with just one unit, maybe two at the max. Instead, he is letting Rome basically take over this primary portion of the battle.
Advance at speed!
This is good. It was a bit hampered, but there was a good flanking push there. Parthian general moving in, Roman general pulling out. And I hope these are still firing. It could be out of ammo, actually. Yeah.
Look forward!
Looks like they're out of ammo. Flanking charges right here by the Parthians. Very, very good. Doing a number on Roman morale, as we can see with these legionaries. But as with last time, we need to be seeing this, especially with these shotguns, especially with these cataphracts. Pull out, come back in and flank. Pull out, flank.
Break double time!
Standing in combat like this is not going to help. Boom, another flanking hit. Taking out quite a few Romans, changing the balance of power. This is good flanking fire over here from these Parthian archers. Romans really just breaking up. Here we go, breaking up the Parthian lines. Parthian swordsmen right here being flanked by Principes. That's going to hurt. A lot of Roman morale issues developing on this battle up to the top.
Orders understood! Roma in victory! We'll quick march!
Median cavalry capturing the auxiliary and Syrian archers and trying to finish them off there. We've got Eastern Javelinmen not being utilized here. That's a problem. And these Eastern Javelinmen here aren't being utilized as well. Now, this Roman flank is broken from the look of it. But right here, this is a very formidable fighting force, and it's about to wipe out these Parthian swordsmen, one of the last really strong units that the Parthians are able to rely on right now.
Advance at speed! Double time!
These Eastern cataphracts coming in here and flanking from behind that could do a lot of damage, but we're still very even. I think it could go either way at this point.
Double time!
Both playing their strengths and advantages. Oh no! Cataphracts, it looked like they were being pulled out. No, they're not. Cataphract's gonna get a flanking charge into the Principes. That hurts. Parthian cavalry, so devastating. Alright, now we're seeing the Javelin men coming in and being put to work. Romans using raised banner. That's gonna help them out a good bit. Oh man. If the Romans can turn and face the Parthian charges, they'll be able to do relatively well, but at the moment they seem to be just eating a lot of these charges. They're going after the Parthian general though. Parthian general is going to go down. Roman general, 10 out of 30. Hard to say. I'm not sure if he's still up or not. God, what a vicious fight. Both teams are being ground down to the dust. Looks like the Parthian general is dead and or routed. Roman general could be the same already. If it's not, it will be soon. So it hasn't happened yet. He just used rally again. So that's going to help out the Romans. This is really coming down to the wire here. A lot of Parthian morale problems thanks to the death of their general. More routing on this side.
For glory!
This noble horse unit out here, the archer, is not being used right now. That's a problem. And I would say it's desperate enough right now that we're calling in those Eastern Scorpions off of their artillery unit. What are they doing? Are they shifting to fire? Looks like they still have more ammo. Interesting.
For glory!
Yeah, they do. Firing them into this blob of Principes right here. Oh, that was a hit. completely even. Oh, Roman general.
Yes, Commander. Riders, advance!
Can't tell if one of those is the general or not. The gold guy is probably not. I bet the Roman general just died.
Let them forward!
The last Parthian swordsman routing. They've really got Persian archers fighting in melee. A lot of Roman morale problems though. This is seriously close. These cataphracts charging like they are is good, but cataphracts are all exhausted, so they're going to be doing less damage with each charge. That was pretty devastating though. Those Principes dropping like crazy. Look at that number. Oh, they're broken. They're going to break. Roman general unit, whatever's left of them coming into charge. Oh, the general's still alive. Look at that. A rally. God, this is ridiculous. This is the closest match we've had. Yeah.
On my honor! Withdraw!
Roman general wavering, can't stand up to these cataphracts. I really can't tell who this is going to.
Advance!
Cataphract charges are going to ruin those Principes. And the Romans have lost their general.
Mars, aid us!
Okay, this means that those Scorpions are out of ammo completely. Romans notice they still have war dogs, they're bringing them in. These Persian archers need to die so those Principes can turn and face these cataphracts, because cataphract charges is those are gonna end this for Rome.
Break off!
Rome, don't run! What are you doing? Oh man, that's gonna hurt. Principes taking a charge, still exhausted cataphracts, not able to do a significant amount, but look at that number. Oof. Looks like it's going to be the cataphracts that are going to win the day for the Parthians. Yep. So, wow, round one goes to J-Dubs. Good fight by both, though. Now back to the rainy hills of Petrodava for round two.
User joined your channel.
Whew, that was close.
That was hairy.
Wow. Yeah, the move to run those legionaries away from the cataphracts at the end. Not very wise. Moving units take a lot more damage from cavalry charges than stationary ones.
That was intense, no?
No bet.
Alright, so the next map is Petrodava, daytime summer rain. Sweet.
Can I get into spectate?
Yeah, they've got a slot open. Hop on in.
Who even is that
What?
faction that?
Bactria.
Bactria, they're a successor
Best
kingdom.
faction.
One of Alexander's remnants. They're like from almost
They're
Afghanistan and India. They're from way east.
they actually precede Alexander.
Yeah, in Rome 2 context though, they are a successor kingdom.
Right. Yeah.
It was an Afghani/Indian, Northwest Indian people who were heavily influenced by Hellenic culture when it spread all the way over there.
They the nation was actually founded by Hellenic traders who migrated.
There's a really neat story about, I think it was Alexander. I think he married, I'm sure he had multiple wives, but I think he married a Bactrian woman. She was supposedly so beautiful that he couldn't resist her over whoever else he had. It might
Yeah,
have,
but that one movie said he was gay, right? So I guess it's true.
yeah. Yeah. I don't even know. I know there was a romance. It might not have even been Alexander. It might have been somebody else. I just remember a story of a like not a tale, but an actual historical story of a romance with a beautiful Bactrian woman.
I've never used War Dogs before. I don't really like them.
They are good for morale and infantry fights, but easy to lose total control of. They'll just go off chasing someone forever and ever. Alright. Both sides good?
I'm good.
I'm good now.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop channels.
User left your channel. User left your channel.
Okay. So the last battle of Petrojava was pretty close as well. Romans had the upper hand definitely for some time, and then they ended up breaking. Alright, Rome has changed up, so this time they've got actual heavy eagle cohort. They've got a lot of gladiators, which are high damage and high melee defense but low actual armor. A lot of gladiators, wow. They do function kind of like shock infantry, so this will be interesting. That is a lot of gladiators. And then the auxiliary and Syria archers are returning. We've also got 2 units of Roman scorpions. And do we have the same kind of Roman cav? Legionary cavalry. On the other side of things, Bactria is here instead of Parthia. Horse archers. That'll be good. And we've got hillmen. High armor piercing like last time, and low health. Bactrian royal cav. Thurio spears, scale thorax. These guys are very, very good. That'll stand up well to the armored legionaries. Lots more thorax. Plenty of thorax units. And then some thorax pikemen in addition. It's going to be important to watch those guys flank so they don't get outmaneuvered. And then we've got some medium melee cav. Definitely... Aside from those horse archers, no ranged units, no foot ranged units from Bactria today. Rome taking a more defensive position. You can see him arcing and placing the artillery up front. Probably going to march up behind it once the battle begins. Nope, he's going to place the artillery behind or on the flanks. I wonder if you can hide those. They will hide in the woods. Doesn't look like they are. They don't have a hidden thing on them. So this is smart. He's got his actual heavy Roman infantry on the front, and then his maneuverable gladiators behind them, so he will be able to push the gladiators wherever they are needed in the fight, which is exactly how they need to be used.
Let your watchword be obedience. Without duty, you are lost. With it, you cannot be beaten.
So I'm noticing here, Bactria seems to only have those horse archers as far as skirmisher support.
Yep.
Yeah.
No ranged units aside from the horse archers.
They also have a lot of not very well armored infantry. Specifically, the pikemen are quite vulnerable to ranged attack,
Yep.
and the hillmen and eastern spearmen as well.
The Hillmen and Eastern Spearmen, I think, are the real vulnerable ones. I think the pikemen, because they're a thorax pikeman, they'll be okay. I'm not too worried about those.
If they're in pike formation, they will take heavy casualties.
Yeah, they
to
don't have their
archer fire.
shields up.
Yeah.
I do also have a unit of Bactrian Royal Guard infantry. That's good.
There's enough killing today.
All right. Who's gonna make the first move? Taking bets.
Happy to serve Rome. In the name of Rome.
I like the details on these guys. I never noticed that they've got little toolkits and stuff on
In the
them.
name of Rome. At speed.
Little
Which
hammers.
unit is this?
The Roman Scorpion guys, they have little satchels with Roman tools on the side. That's a really neat detail. And it's a high quality texture too.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Draw swords.
God, I love the helmets on the gladiators. Not the gladiator spearmen, but the actual gladiators.
If you look at these scorpion guys as well, you'll see that they are disproportionately older men.
A lot of them are balding and older looking, yeah.
We
Yeah.
do so at the trot. Glory to Rome. At the double.
I was about to point out the unprotected scorpion. It's an interesting move to put the gladiators on defense here, though, because these are horse archers, and those guys have no armor whatsoever.
I think it's just a gut response. He might not realize that they're horse archers yet. He just needs something there to stop the.
Oh yeah, no
scorpions from being
question.
charged.
Of anything, it's something he had to do, but the legionaries on that side would have been a better pick for sure. Even though they're not spear units.
I have to say, Bactria has a very spear-heavy loadout here, and Rome is not fielding a lot of cavalry.
Yep,
or
those
any
sword units of
cavalry.
Rome are going to be a pain for him. God, those poor spearmen. Ugh. Ugh. Yep, there we go. Got some actual cavalry coming up here. So once again, we have Alabum as the Romans and J-Dubs as the Bactrians. He goes by the One True Morty.
Trip riders at the double.
Definitely not a very good use of these scorpions. They are not accurate enough to hit fast-moving horses, and these horses are spread thin enough to where most of these shots are just going straight between them.
These legionary cavalry also are never going to be able to catch up with them.
Nope.
The light horse archers,
They're actually medium horse archers, but even still,
comparatively lighter.
he's microing them too well
Advance at speed.
to catch up.
Forward.
He's got them in a cavalry testudo.
Hold on tight.
Doesn't seem to be helping too much. Oof.
For Rome. Riders.
What he really needs to be doing here is pulling his scorpions in behind his lines and turtling.
Pulling the scorpions
Thing is-
in gets rid of the entire threat. The entire reason he's worried about his flank here.
Yeah.
Rome is mother to us all.
If he puts his legionaries far enough forward that the horse archers can't actually fire at the scorpions and the spearmen, like without getting within Pelham range, he's got this under control.
Victory for Rome. Riders, advance.
At this rate, he's just going to exhaust these legionary cav.
Yeah. And they're slowly gonna get shot in the back.
Yeah, this right here is gonna cost. Oof.
Here comes the citizen cavalry.
Quickly now!
Directly into the scorpions.
Marching order!
Goodbye, Scorpions.
speed! For Rome! Advance!
So one unit has gotten pinned, but he's aggressively pulling him out. And a pincer by the other group of legionary cav. That's good.
This citizen cavalry is gonna have a bit of a... Well, actually, this is only legionary cavalry, not Praetorian. Never mind.
Right.
The citizen cavalry may actually win. Yeah, probably would win in a straight-up slugfest, especially with the horse archer supporting.
With these gladiator spearmen so close by, though, it's not a good area to be fighting in.
No, definitely not.
Advance! Advance at speed!
We've got one unit of the horse archers breaking now, having gotten caught.
See, I just noticed there's a scorpion sniping these scale thorax hoplites, and they've actually gotten almost 20 kills. Yeah, they've gotten 20 kills. More than 20. Alright, so that looks like it might be forcing the Bactrians to push forward. It's good, careful targeting of some of the heaviest units up there. He has actually killed almost 20 in one unit, and then over 20, almost 40 in another, and two others.
The thorax swordsmen in the rear as well are taking some hits.
Yeah, that's the second group. They're dropping.
There's actually two frontline units that have taken quite a lot of casualties.
Two frontline. One is about 20 casualties, one's almost 40, and then the rear one is getting up to 40. Now he seems to be
now
maybe
engaging the
targeting
general.
Yeah, gotten 2 kills already.
We've got the hillmen coming out of the trees on the right Bactrian flank.
Glory to Rome! Forward!
More duels between the cavalry. This time, Rum pulling the general forward like he might commit to the fight with him. That's risky this early.
Now those Bactrian hillmen being a very cheap unit, now would be a great time to charge one up at those scorpions because of their high mobility. The scorpions would either have to stop firing and move, or the legionaries would have to break formation to protect them, or maybe those gladiator spearmen. Either way, the hillmen could inflict much more damage on the Romans than they actually take. It would be a pretty significant trade.
Not gonna have the chance to. Looks like Rome is going to pull their scorpion back.
Yeah, the time for it would have been about 30 seconds ago. These Bactrian horse archers now falling victim to the Syrian archers.
Yep, now it's gonna wipe most of them out. Rome still has lost the most units though at this point. Wow, that's a lot of scattered bodies.
Fire on the enemy!
Alright, the first group of Scorpions survived that cavalry battle, so they are going to resume firing. Devastating Roman engineering. It's going to really start whittling away at these Bactrians. I only wonder if he's going to focus on that general again, because that really wasn't doing the damage that it was to the infantry.
Eyes front!
Even so, targeting the general, I think, is definitely the right call.
feel like it's a waste. All the time you're spending firing, most of them being misses for the slight chance you might kill the general.
The thing is, the Roman infantry are already guaranteed, basically, to win this infantry fight. These pikemen are not going to survive long enough to get up to the Romans through their pilum and their archer fire, so they're not going to be a significant threat. And the hoplites simply cannot stand up to legionaries, and obviously the hillmen and eastern spearmen cannot as well.
Oof, those archers are devastating.
Yeah, pikemen are particularly vulnerable. You notice they were in.
Yeah, he put them in. He put them in the pike formation.
Yeah. I have to say, unless the Romans do something dramatically stupid here, they've got this battle in the bag.
Rise, you bastards, or I will gut you for the throne! Form up!
Here come the pylon. Pylon. Ooh.
Advance! Riders, move out! Riders, advance! Rally to me! Engage!
The citizen cavalry are back now, fighting the Roman legion.
Those gladiators are doing too much to him, though.
The Roman general is also involved in that fight, which basically means the Bactrian cavalry is not going to be surviving. Okay, we do see the pikemen now coming in after the initial hoplite charge.
Looks like all troops are now met, with the exception of those hillmen. It'll be interesting to see where those are put to use.
Fire! Find your target! Rome is mother to us all!
Now, can you see Rome's actual base gladiator unit? Okay, there it is, yep. Right where Bactria's line is breaking, you can see the standard gladiators with their extra armor-piercing damage that they gain from those weapons they have. They're going to rip apart, absolutely rip apart any Bactrian infantry that comes at them. Particularly the hoplites.
Bactrian hillmen actually all breaking now, going up against the gladiator spearmen head-on. Oh, wow, that's a horrible morale break right there.
Eastern spearmen breaking now as well, having fought the legionnaires.
I think the Parthian general charging into combat. Yeah, I think the Parthian general just died.
Bactrian.
Or, Bactrian. Bactrian general charged in, got caught up in standing combat, and was wrecked.
I think I see him there still, actually.
I don't see his flag.
Oh, you're right. I thought that, yeah, no, you're right.
We've got Bactrian troops standing in front of pikemen, blocking them from fighting.
Actually, the spears on the pikes might be long enough that they can actually attack through the Bactrian.
I think the actual line of combat is way out of reach now.
Yeah, you might be right. I know for a while there, it definitely wasn't.
So we surround the Bactrian units on the right Roman flank. Rest of the Bactrian troops routing. This is a game to album, so we're going to go into a tiebreaker for the first time. Oh boy, tiebreaker map. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
User joined your channel.
So that was a bit of a rout.
Oh boy, yeah.
User joined your channel.
All right, so the tiebreaker map is called Akink, A-K-I-N-K, and it's going to be Dry Winter Day. All right, ready whenever you guys are. This is gonna be a fun one. This map is gonna be chaotic. Hey Stevo, hey Surtur Plestine. How are you guys doing? We're entering the tiebreaker round. It's Alabum as Rome versus, it looks like we're gonna see Spartan armies from J-Dubs. We're in phase 2 of the tournament. After this, we have the the quarterfinals, I guess. And that'll be this weekend, I think. Tomorrow night I might be streaming, but it's going to be a totally different game. It's going to be with this same group of guys here. It's a 60-person-ish unit from Arma. We're going to be playing Arma 3. But the Total War should continue this weekend. We'll have the quarterfinals and hopefully the semifinals and finals on maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday afternoon. Hard to say. We'll see.
Yeah, dropping channels.
Back down.
User left your channel. User left your channel.
Nice. Who are you playing as, Surtur? Alright, so here we are, the snowy forests of Akink. This is going to be
very interested to see the Spartan army.
Spartans fielding Pikemen, Heroes of Sparta, Hoplites, more Heroes of Sparta, Perioiki Hoplites, Spartan Hoplites, some Citizen Cav. They do have a Greek Scorpion. And the Romans, gotta zoom into the forest to see them here. They've gotten rid of a lot of the heavy legionaries. They're bringing a lot of Hastati, some Principes. This is more of an old Roman looking build. Oh, they do still have legionary cohort. Gone very, very, very heavy in the melee category, doing away with the gladiators, completely replacing them with actual Roman troops.
Yeah, they've actually got 4 legionary units and 4 legionary cohorts as well.
Velites should do okay here. Rome. I did post all of these maps on the forums, so Rome seemed to know not to bring archers for this map. On the flip side, Javelin men will perform well from Sparta. I'm not sure how the Greek Scorpion is going to do, though. Sparta
I think the lack of line of sight available is going to really hinder the Scorpion.
Absolutely. I do like what Sparta's doing. They've got the Citizen Cav on the far flank. Scouting is critical on this map. And Rome seems to be banking everything on them happening upon the fight at the right angle, at the right place. So, kudos off the bat to Sparta. Mother Russia, they're really fun to play as an empire. And in Napoleon, honestly, too. They've got some really fun units. Cheap, not the most accurate, not the highest morale, but, you know, good in melee. Fire a couple volleys and then charge in screaming, and you can do some serious damage. And the Russian cannons, oh my god. They've also got a lot of great cheap spear cavalry.
Which way do you think this one's gonna go, Helix?
I don't know. Seeing the number of spears that the Spartans brought, they can hold out for a long time, but we're seeing a lot of melee infantry from the Romans again. If the Romans are careful about getting around the spears, I think they can have this, but if they're going to face off into those spears directly, I think Sparta definitely has a chance here. It's going to come down to how Roman maneuvers, the Roman maneuvers are. And Rome, I don't know, they're doing that kind of curved defensive shell again. I don't know if they're going to be moving or what they're going to be doing, what their plan is. But if they're static, they're lacking the advantage of the scorpions this time and those archers, so they might not be able to pick off as many of the spear units as they did last time.
Yeah, I feel like if Rome takes the initiative, gets into the trees nice and forward, kind of what they're doing right now, I think they're almost guaranteed a victory. If they can force an engagement in the trees with the Spartans, I think they've got this one in the bag. That said, yeah, I mean, honestly, frontal engagements between legionaries and a lot of these units are going to go in favor of the legionaries. The Spartan hoplites are unlikely to be able to stand up to them super effectively, and the Perioeci spears really don't have a hope.
Perioeci spears don't have a chance, but I think in shield wall formation, these hoplites or spear wall formation, facing down the Roman infantry will be okay. I'm not too concerned about them. What I'm concerned about is any Roman getting around the spears. Those spears are done.
I mean, yeah, the Romans definitely have more infantry units than the Spartans do. And so any one-on-one engagement that the Spartans engage in is not going to be ideal here. I'm not sure why they've decided to stage the way they have here in the open field, just short of the tree line. The Romans are going to be able to move up close to them and spot them well before the Spartans spot them. If the Romans even choose to advance.
It is an incline, though. If they were to go in the woods, I guess they would still have most of the incline.
The thing is that the legionaries could get into, well, there are Helot javelin men there, I suppose, but did Rome bring javelin men as well? I thought I had seen.
They brought velites.
Yeah, the velites and the Helot javelin men could exchange easily, and then the Roman infantry could use their pilum to rout them and to really start fucking up those pikemen and stuff, and that would really force Sparta to come at Rome while Rome is still largely in concealment. They would have to enter the tree line to fight Rome, and so you have a situation where, like, yeah, the entire Spartan line is exposed, and the Roman back lines are in concealment, which is not a situation you want to be in.
Not at all.
I think the Spartans would stand a much better chance if they just walked forward, 50 meters into those trees and waited for the Romans there.
So it looks like the Romans... Okay, so their Cav scouts have spotted each other now. However, it doesn't look like the Greeks were able to spot the Roman army in the woods out there.
Riders, at the double! Domine!
He knows at the very least, though, the direction of some of the Roman units. I wonder if those Roman cav can see up to the Spartans on the hill.
Currently, I don't think they can.
No, I don't think they can either. They need to add a one of those StarCraft style cone of view things where your view options where I can clicking around looking at the options where I could see from so and so's point of view and see their fog of war.
I believe if you hit insert on a unit, any enemy units they can see will have a flag above them, and any enemies they can't see do not. So Rome here is pulling a very long flank. They're looking to take the highest point of that hill, it seems like.
I'm excited for Warhammer Starter. I'm glad that they're not taking all the teams off of the historical games. They're still developing a historical Total War right now. I don't know how I feel about not being able to conquer certain territories. You know, they're wanting to stick to Warhammer lore. So
Critical cavalry engagement happening here very shortly.
Looks like, are they going to turn around and run? Not in time. Those Romans are going to reach them. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for Warhammer. I'm just some of the design choices they made, like only making certain regions conquerable. I mean, it's Total War. The whole idea is that you're breaking history, you're breaking lore, you're breaking whatever, so that you can just conquer the whole world. And I think Games Workshop has their fingers on it, which is why they're, forcing it to stick to the lore. It makes me wonder, just how much variation is there going to be between campaigns if you play as one, as the Greenskins, and you're only allowed to capture certain territories, or you're playing as one of the human factions and you can't conquer certain other territories, other human territories, other dwarven territories, etc. If I played as the humans a second time, it's going to play the exact same way, no? You would think, at least. So I don't know about that, but other than that, the details look amazing, the quests for the characters look amazing, the world looks beautiful. I love I'm really excited to see this format of a game, but with spellcasting and aerial units and all kinds of stuff like that. So definitely we'll be playing
it really
the
does
day it
seem
comes out.
like they're going to be taking Warhammer Total War in the same sort of direction as Arena Total War. Just generally a more battle-focused experience.
My roommate's correcting me, saying, I won't enjoy it the day it comes out. It's going to be buggy and probably completely unplayable, knowing Creative Assembly. But I'll be enjoying it early on. I'll say
Not long after.
Not long after it comes out, I will be able to enjoy it.
Quickly now, we obey.
The way this cavalry engagement has played out actually is not in favor of Rome right now.
Yep. And I do think Greece is aware now. I feel like he can see those units. The eyeballs over their heads disappeared just a moment ago.
Yeah, they can see them. They can definitely see them now. I just listened to a Spartan call out enemy sighted.
Romans trying to flank that cav unit. Here they come. The ranged units chasing them down, still firing. Spartan lines better start shifting soon. I can see that the units are going out, but it's almost like he's in denial that it's the entire Roman force. He might think that it's a tease or something.
Honestly, he might not even notice that. He had to be looking at those units in that area of the map, and he may have been micromanaging his cavalry to deal with the Roman cavalry.
May have been the case. I'm seeing a lot of units shift. Looks like Sparta might be aware of that. I can see where Rome is moving his units, and he's going all the way around. He's really going for the wide flank. Yeah, Surtur, it's not going to have mod support either. Games Workshop doesn't want it to be modded. Which, I mean, with magic and all that stuff, it would make perfect for, a new Lord of the Rings mod to replace the Medieval 2 one that's been doing so well, but I don't think that Games Workshop is going to allow that to happen one bit.
The Roman cavalry is now suffering some pretty heavy attrition. To the point where actually I think the Greek citizen cavalry is well poised to win that fight if it came down to it.
And the double.
Yeah, the Spartans definitely have a strong cavalry advantage right now.
conservative attitude of both sides. A lot of slow positioning. Either side could be caught off guard right now. Greece even
That
more
is
so. Sparta.
Gonna happen. That's kind of what happens when you pick a map that heavily favors one side over the other.
I don't think it really heavily favors it. There are so many trees leading up that Rome has the ambush advantage, whereas Greece has the hilltop advantage.
The ambush advantage doesn't really matter that much if you have the hill advantage.
Oh, I think it's huge. I think it's absolutely huge. If he had faster units, or if he was a little more stealthy about it. Right now, okay, so if he was to start slipping units this way, complete defilade to the Greeks, the big thing with beating the Greeks here is going to be getting behind their formations, and getting behind them would be very easy both here and... Yeah, Sparta's done actually a really good job of leaving sentries posted in the woods around the map, but...
The issue with that is simply that the Romans also don't know what's over there, and doing that would be risking some of their critical infantry units that they really, really need to deal with all these.
Well, and that's what makes the scouting game so important. And it's been done very little by Rome. He's gotten a good formation and he's kept it together very carefully. But aside from his cavalry, he scouted on one side some, and that was it. Greece has had, at least in all the critical locations around the map, had sentries posted this entire game. There he goes again, positioning his citizen calf downhill, so there's no way anything's going to get around him here. Surtur, I don't think they've announced what the next historical one is going to be yet. They've teased that it's happening for sure, but every time they're asked, they talk about it. You know, it's early on. There's no discussion of it, so nobody knows what era it is. I gut feeling it's going to be something totally new, like something nobody would expect. You know, like you know, the Prussian Wars or something like that. Or it's going to be like feudal China or something like that. Or it's going to be Medieval 3. I think unless it's something wild that we haven't seen before, it's going to be Medieval 3. That's what I'm calling. I might be wrong, but I don't see why they would make an Empire 2, although that would be really cool. I don't see why they would make a Shogun 3 yet. Obviously not a Rome, so... I think a China could be really interesting, done right. I don't want them to get any more recent than the Franco-Prussian War, though. I feel like the World War I mod for Napoleon was pretty neat, but I don't think that style of combat... You start getting into the single unit combat and all that. I don't think Total War's built for that. Trench warfare, it could be done, I guess, but I think this is their specialty. Ricks of unit and formation. So here we're seeing the lines are about to meet. Principes in the front instead of the Hastati. Not what the ancient Romans would have done. But he's spreading them out just right. He's working on going Legion cohort heavy on one side, which is a good call. Weighing down on one of the flanks and going a little easier on the other. There is now Greek cavalry, though, coming up on the Velites, which is going to break them. He's got his legionary cavalry off on the sides, not active. Raised banner. Greeks have a very tight formation right now. That's both good and bad.
Unless the Roman general gets involved with that Greek cavalry, there is nothing that Rome can really do to stop what's happening here. Unless they get a shot of Pelham out here on these Greek cavalry that are hanging around far too long.
Yeah, Ashy, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, the Chinese, I think it was a discussion on the subreddit for Total War, the Chinese warring states period, the feudal period and all that. A lot of people were saying that, you know, all the units would be the same and stuff, but that's, it's the same with Shogun, yeah. Shogun was men flying different colors, and that was about it, with some exceptions of, you know, the heroic, famous units from each area. And Shogun 2 was massively popular, so I think a China one could actually be awesome, given China's crazy rich history of military and everything, military history. So I'm kind of pulling for that. I want a Medieval 3, but I don't know if they're ready for it yet.
The Romans are not at all flanking.
They're not.
In any capacity.
They are not.
They've massed multiple units into the fronts of hoplites and pikemen. The one unit they do have flanking right now is actually getting engaged by javelin from the rear and the side.
Yep. Now, J-Dubs is pulling some of his pikemen back. I don't understand why. They weren't under ranged fire and they were in a good position to just hold the Principes at bay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Rome has Legionary Cav running to the edge of the map, chasing routed soldiers. If Rome can clean up his micro of his cavalry and get them behind the Greeks, that would be very, very good. I want to see the preview for Vampire Counts. I really want to see Britonia. Like, I am so impatient. They've said that it's a region. They've shown the units in the latest Rally Point episode where they showed the, was it Azog? They were showing one of his quests for his magic items. They showed the Britonian units. Just show me the faction. Oh, those are my guys.
Quick march!
Roman units holding off well against these spearmen.
Charge! Attack! For Rome! Strength and honor!
Rome just now finally beginning to engage with some flanks. The Roman right flank, Spartan left, is extremely vulnerable right now. We have legionary cohorts flanking Perioki hoplites.
Yep, those Perioki are not going to last long. They're going to break, and that's going to open up a world of hurt. We're seeing more Velites drop, though. Good usage of the general by Alabum. I don't see much coming from the Royal Spartan general, however.
Yeah, honestly, he is in a dangerous position right now. They're losing men slowly but surely. Not too much longer here, and we're going to see a general death. Especially if that right flank continues to fail with those Perioki spears.
I think that's the flank with the Periokis is going down. I think Sparta with the hilltop with a slightly better formation could have pulled this off, but he has allowed his formation to contort into something really strange now. He's got weak units on one flank. They're poised. They were supposed to be guarding the flank of his general. I think Rome is definitely outmaneuvering him here.
Honestly, though, he has pike units that he probably could pull out and send to the left flank to secure it.
Yeah, the ones that they're making that strange T cross right here.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was thinking those ones are in a pretty decent position, engaging the legionaries from the side. Specifically, he has a unit of pikemen behind his hoplites here that could easily disengage.
Poppin' Nurgle.
Yeah, those pikemen aren't actually directly in combat right now, as far as I can see.
Looks like he is pulling them out, though. Chaos, yeah, I am looking forward to everything, all the chaos that the Warhammer Total War has to offer. Yeah, China, think about that. Yeah, the Silk Road, the Mongols, all the Indonesians and Koreans, they can include a lot. Given how big Empire's map was, if they were to include some of Indonesia, Korea, a lot of that, maybe even include like the edge of Japan or something, and include a small fraction of the Japanese factions. God, I would get really excited for that game.
Sparta securing his left flank just in the nick of time.
Yep. However, the Spartan general now down to 40 men out of 120. That's huge. Guy's going to be going down here soon. Roman general carefully preserved in the back. This is Sparta crumbling and being encircled.
At the double! Quickly now! Riders, advance! Legio Parati!
Honestly, some of these Roman units, these Hastati, are not going to last much longer. Same with the Principes, and the legionaries on the left flank are directly engaging pikes from the front. It is entirely possible the Roman lines could crumble and break before the Spartan lines do. Bear in mind, the heroes of Sparta and the Spartan hoplites have higher morale than the Romans do.
Yeah. So Sparta did pull out their general.
With this Roman flank here, it's maybe now that's not yeah.
They lost
everything I just said.
Yeah, they just lost all momentum.
This cavalry flank may completely fuck everything.
At speed!
pikes marching on those cav. Those cav are in trouble.
Well, without those pikes supporting that corner, I don't know that the Spartan hoplites here will be able to hold on against 2 legionary cohorts.
This is Caverdine. Better micro those pikes right back around where they came from, though. We've got Hastati not really being used here on this flank.
Sparta making the probably wise choice to pull out his general and keep him just nearby.
Oh yeah, that was a good call. He needs to rebuild his line over here. It's been broken. He's got pike maneuvers standing there idle. But if he can deploy those... Uh-oh. So he's moving his pikes this way, which is... He does need more men there, but... Okay. I'm just trying to gauge where these guys are going. It looks like he might be going back that direction. I wonder what kind of general... I wonder if he was a Zeal general, the Spartan general. Because I haven't seen any kind of...
He has a fairly increased melee defense, so that sounds... Oh, you know what? That might just be the hoplite wall ability.
Oops, Principe sneaking around behind the Royal Spartans.
It actually looks like he was a bronze chevron general. Yeah. So an upgraded general, which definitely helps a lot.
So I'm not seeing the Eagle cohorts. I think I only see one. Do I?
I don't think there are any. I believe it's 4 legionary cohorts, 4 legionaries, 4 Hastati, and 4 Pericopes.
I don't see the... Oh wow, we're seeing a big morale break from the Romans here. This could fall apart.
It looks like the Roman general might have died in a flank attempt.
Do you not see him in the group? Oh man. Romans are pulling back. Look at that.
Yeah.
This is in D&D where you have all the attacks of opportunity. Spartan units have been able to retain their energy levels in a lot of cases, not in all. Romans aggressively trying to outflank here. Look at that. If he wants to do that, he needs to at least use 1 or 2 units to pin some of those spearmen in combat, but redirecting his entire army like that, all Sparta has to do is do the same.
Those 2 leftmost flank units of legionary cohort, if spread thin, would really...
The pylons! Look at this! Royal Spartans getting flanked! Oh my god, they just took a wall of pylon to the back. He saw Sparta reforming their lines, and as soon as the general turned around, there were no Spartans looking straight at the Romans, and so he charged in. Oh wow.
I can see the Spartan general right now. He's still alive for the time being. But if he falls, it is game over.
This is the last act of desperation here. If he can kill that Royal Spartan general, that's going to hurt a lot.
I can't see it happening currently. The Roman morale, even with that rally, is much lower than the Spartan morale right now. Even though Sparta actually has at least 1 pike unit that's not engaged at all at the moment, which is odd.
I totally agree with you, Ashy Toad. I would love Medieval 3. That is what I would be so excited for, but Warhammer's kind of going to scratch that medieval-ish itch, and I can go a little longer without that. I would love to see them experiment some. Oh man. Charged by the Romans again at the back of the Spartan general. We're seeing Roman morale failure big time here. Album doing his best.
I don't think this Roman general charge is gonna be enough.
Nope.
Oh, hold on. The Spartan general unit is now breaking.
A lot of Roman ones are too. Those pikemen are closing in. Even if he does kill the general, there is going to have to be some serious morale shock to the Spartans because the Roman units are now almost surrounded and are very, very battered and worn down.
Withdraw!
Oh man, this is really close. That,
You got pikes turning to face the cavalry now.
yep, that's going to be a big problem for those Roman cav.
It might have come too late, though. As unlikely as it seems.
Yes, Commander!
It looks like the Royal Spartans have been able... Yeah, he's pulled them back into defensive position. Hoplites have pushed forward, pikes have pushed forward, yeah. Roman general is unable to. There goes. Well fought. Well fought by both sides. Well, that was good. I wonder what they're talking about down in their channel.
I'm sure all kinds of salt and smack is being exchanged.
User joined your channel.
I thought I lost that one.
User joined your channel.
Spartans are broken.
Blam, man. You could have flanked a lot more than you did.
Yeah, he saw me though.
Even so, if you'd held like one or two of your infantry units in reserve and tied down his lines and then got around the pikes, you would have chopped them up, man.
I couldn't break him though. Like I tried to get around him, and my infantry just wouldn't fucking listen. For one, like I tried to flank around him to get in behind him and start doing damage from behind him, and my infantry would just be like, "Derp, no."
In the initial engagement against the spears, you packed your infantry way too thickly. You needed to spread your lines out thinner. You also had situations where you had Hastati running up behind Pericopes who were already engaged and trying to attack the enemies that, like, the Pericopes were between them and the Hastati. Those units could have been sent around to the back of the enemy lines. You had several units like that, like two or three.
Dude, I honestly don't pay Total War enough to even know about what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay,
Like,
fair enough.
I have 30 hours in this game. And I had 25 hours in this game last night before we started playing.
Well, it was really, really well fought by both sides. That came down to the wire there. There was a lot of waffling on morale and everything. That was really, really fun to watch.
Man, it wasn't close. The fucking Spartans don't break.
Yeah.
They have some of the best morale in the game.
Yeah, they don't break. Like, fuck. All of his units were down to, like, fucking low double digits. All of them. Mine were breaking at, like, fucking 90.
To be fair, he had like the heaviest Spartan units, and you had Hastati and Principes and Legion, like the base legions, which are like those are early Roman units, and so they're lighter ones. So they are just inherently going to be inferior.
I understand they're going to be inferior, but when you have like 2-to-1 numbered superiority, and the enemy isn't breaking, it is incredibly frustrating. Like, purely numerically, I know I'm not really taking into account any kind of fucking stats or anything, but, like,
honestly,
after my initial attack, I had him pretty much dead to rights, except he wouldn't break. Like,
the Legionnaires, given enough time, definitely would have killed all of his units except for the heroes of Sparta. The issue was, I think your general died.
My general didn't die.
No, really?
No.
Stayed alive
They were just breaking. And I was trying, like, when I pulled off and fucking tried to re-engage, I was trying to kill his general. He routed all of my units. I killed 5 of his general units.
Yeah.
Like...
No, they're definitely tough.
I thought I was gonna lose after the first initial contact because he had started to flank me. But because I think I had like more lighter guys on my one flank, so I was
The way
pretty
you
screwed.
captured J-Dub's cavalry, by the way, Blam, was fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I was trying to, keep his cavalry fucking out of that forest so I could get my dudes in behind. I don't like that as a tiebreaker map, though. I do have to say.
Really?
Yeah, because it's heavily, heavily favorable to one side because the others. J-Dub spawned on a hill. Like, straight up,
Yeah.
he spawned on a very
That's when it
easily
stayed.
defensible hill, and he didn't move, and I don't blame him for not moving because that's the right fucking decision. I had to think in my head, well, fuck, he's on a hill. There's fucking the straight and narrow path is fucking obvious. He's obviously going to defend that way, so I'm going to have to flank around. I got halfway through my fucking right flank and I realized, oh wait, I can't do that because, well, I can't, for sure do that because there's a big fucking, like, not river but kind of riverbed thing where there's no trees on the right hand side, and you can't see that before the match starts, because of the camera lock. So it's like you get to that point and you have to cross this fucking open area, and that's when he saw me, I think.
Yeah.
Right, J-Dubs? Is that when you saw my units when I crossed that fucking, like, brown ditch?
No, I saw your units when they were still in the forest, I think.
Okay, well,
Because
No,
I
they
pushed
were-
one of
I
my
was-
cav units up.
Yeah, no, I think you did see him when he was crossing a.
They
an
would have
open
been
path.
visible, but I had you distracted, which is what I was trying to do. I was trying to keep your attention on my cavalry units that were running in front of your lines. So if that kept you distracted, then I did what I wanted to do, and I just didn't have enough cavalry to fucking block your vision. But
As you were crossing that trench, Blam, I was listening to the Spartan soldiers say, "Enemy spotted, sir."
well, yeah, because I'm visible.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't actually,
You were
see
keeping
that,
him microed, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
What was the attacker direction on that? Because that could be fixed
it
by
was
just.
probably north. But
It could be
even
changed
then-
to east to west so that both players
Yeah.
have access to the hill.
See, Helix, you were saying that while one person gets the hill, they're on a clearing and the enemy can flank and stuff, but that still requires the attacker, the person attacking the hilltop, to assume copious amounts of risk compared to the defender.
I gotta
And that-
go, guys.
That can be
All right,
very
so-
unbalancing.
See ya.
Like,
GG's.
I could see all of J-Dub's troops as soon as he deployed, which was my one advantage. I could see where his
User
troops were
disconnected from
pointed
your channel.
and everything, like, clear as day, and he couldn't see any of mine because of how I had positioned them off to the right. But, like, I had to figure out a way to get up there without just walking into the meat grinder because I knew I was facing the fucking Spartans, and if I walked into the meat grinder, I'd be fucked. And honestly, even with that clearing on that hill, he probably would have been able to position himself in time enough that he probably still would have won, even if I had come from behind him or from a direct left or right flank. Like, the only difference would be is his Scorpions wouldn't have gotten off as many shots, which honestly was negligible. Like, I just fucking murdered his Scorpions 2 seconds into the engagement anyways.
Did you give your guys time to let off their full volleys of Pelum before you
Yes.
engage the front line? Yeah, okay.
I was engaging them one by one, so.
I still think it was close. I think if the Hastati had been thrown at the front of the pikes and spears, and the Principes had been forced around back because J-Dubs did not.
I was trying to put my guys around back, man. It's just.
Oh, I definitely saw it. Like, especially so you crumbled one of the flanks by his generals, and he had to rush to like bring pikes from one side to the other.
Yeah.
So, but I still think like the one.
I'm not even talking about crumbling the flank. I was trying to micro my units around the side, like even through the forest, and trying to get them behind him so I could fucking sandwich his general in between his units and kill him. But my fucking units just weren't listening. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on, if they were getting fucking stabbed in the face with pikes from those Spartans or getting.
Well, yeah, and that's what
profanity or
Mosaic
whatever.
was talking about earlier. I think the only mistake you made was charging both the Principes and the Hastati and the Legion like head on at the Spartan lines instead of like charging one per and then taking the rest and not even letting them get into combat yet, just simply walking them around the edge or running them around the edge instead of getting them in combat and then trying to micro them around.
I had to get them into combat or else they were gonna get stuck in with the fucking horsemen behind me. Which is what ended up happening to my backline, and I had to pull off a couple of I forget what it was, but it was one of the units.
Legionary cohorts. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if your formation had been just a little bit wider and you had held even like 2 more units in reserve, especially on your left flank, he had a lot of pikemen there, and a flank on pike. I mean, pikemen have pretty god awful stats from the rear and the sides. Like you would have ripped through his units in moments if you had gotten 1 unit around the back there, and
Like literally,
basically
no. Like I'm being serious here. From the fucking start of that engagement, as soon as I had gotten them locked into combat, I was trying to get units around back, and every time I'd try to move a unit, it would just fucking get stuck into
so
combat.
what I'm saying is
No, I know what you're saying, but even if I pulled them back and fucking moved them around, which I
you
don't know,
don't
I
want to
did.
pull units out of combat. You want to have them never engage in the first place, is what I'm saying. Have 2 of your Hastati units just wait behind the lines while everything else engages, and then once the lines are static, then start moving them around the back without ever even coming close to the enemy units.
I figured having the cover and being able to sneak up to that hill and like feign with multiple like with cavalry on the flanks and stuff in the woods would balance it out. But if it's if you really feel like it was unbalanced, I'll just change the attacker direction.
The thing is, like, it probably would have even been better if I'd attacked from the left flank. I don't know what the left flank looks like. I didn't fucking go into there. I didn't even bother because I put my troops on the right-hand side at the beginning of the battle, and I didn't know there was that fucking...
There was more stuff like that on the left flank too.
Yeah, so...
They had sentries posted, but the idea is kind of like to...
Oh, I'm not talking about the sentries. I'm talking about the map terrain. I figured they'd have fucking horsemen because of his last battle.
His mainline infantry, you would have been able to sneak up on them if you had routed his horsemen before you moved out. Because his horsemen were
couldn't
the only
catch
thing
his
capable of spotting you. Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of skirmisher
Yeah,
horsemen.
you can't really catch those horses. The only thing you can do there is like try to force him to like shift his position on that hill, like make him think you're coming from one side.
That you made, Helix, is just that like the flanking advantage that you talk about really depends a lot on composition and like getting a little bit lucky with
honestly,
movement and stuff.
With the way you described the map, I was contemplating not even bringing cavalry. And if I hadn't brought cavalry, I would have just died. There would have been absolutely nothing for me to do because he would have spotted my fucking attack, like right off the bat, and I wouldn't have anything to do. I wouldn't have been able to micro his cavalry away from my approach. I wouldn't be able to.
Well, but that's just reserves. I think you could do it without cavalry. I think you would be sacrificing.
If you don't bring cavalry, you're giving yourself a disadvantage.
The way Helix it was described and the way I understood it, it was basically a flat map that was a forest, and horses don't do very good in forests. Like, there's only so much. Like, I didn't bring any spearmen because I wasn't expecting very much cavalry. Like, I brought fucking swordsmen.
Yeah.
To fight, like, and I had a superiority of swordsmen and a fucking Sparta.
Well, I'll change the attacker direction so that both teams start with both the lowlands with the forest and the barren hilltop. So it's not one team gets hill, one team doesn't. But
it's a good map. I do like the map, and if we were doing like an attack defend thing, or if it was like the tournament format was game 1 you attack, game 2 you defend, and then game 3 was a flat map if you did a tiebreaker, that'd be a pretty cool format.
Yeah.
And it'd be a great map for that. But it's just, if that's supposed to be the fucking even map,
Well, I think east to west it will be even because it's both sides. It's not a flat map, obviously, but both sides have equal terrain footing. There's no one hill higher on another side. There's no, like, both sides will both be in like the lowland and the highland. And if one team wants to go up to the hill and camp it, then the other team, they're gonna have to face off with the other team doing it.
Yeah.
To everybody watching, thanks for watching. I'm probably gonna cut the stream, but
Oh my god, we've been arguing on stream this entire time?
yeah, it's been pretty civil though.
Holy fuck.
But if you guys ever want to play Total War or anything, my Steam, I'll type it in chat. Feel free to add me and we can play. I will export this to YouTube. My YouTube channel is down below. If you scroll down on this channel page right now. I just got a new hard drive. I got a 3 terabyte hard drive. And so I will be able to actually record co-op games that I'm playing with friends and such. I'm definitely getting excited to do that with Warhammer when it comes out in April. So I'll be uploading there more. And if you follow on Twitch, you'll be able to catch these as they pop up. I think the next round will be this weekend because the rest of the weeknights this week I'm busy doing other things. But again, thanks for watching and thanks for chatting and contributing.